going now, yeah.
Sounds good. Welcome to another episode of Blood, Sweat and Beers here at Wine Lindley. Nice to see you again, Loz, as normal. And then we've got a special guest, an absolute legend at Heath, with over 340 caps for them. Chris Moore, welcome, mate. Right, thanks for joining us, Paul.
Nice to see you.
Appreciate it.
Before we get going, we're going to start with the first thing, is splitting the G.
Hopefully I won't lose this week.
Loser downs the drink. So as you're the guest, you can go first.
From experience, I think it's 2 large gulps and a half.
Go for it.
So if I get this wrong, I should be ashamed.
Right. 2 large gulps and a half. It's not bad, that.
Not far off.
About 2 mil off.
Go on, Loz.
The lower G.
Oldest goes last. Oldest goes last.
Does it count when you finish?
Oh, miles off. Miles off.
Nice.
Did you tell me that just to screw me over?
My gulps are bigger.
You're further, mate.
I don't. That finish is pretty good.
Yeah, you've done really well there.
Who's won then?
Yeah.
So Chris won, I've come second, and Loz, you've lost again.
Need
So
to get practicing this, don't I?
get going. Cheers, mate.
Yeah, I could have just lied to you there, couldn't I?
Yeah, no, you could have. You should have.
Did you win it last week?
No, I
That's
lost last week as well.
2 in a row he's lost now. Yeah, that's good. Before we get on to Chris, Loz has got us a first sponsor.
Yeah.
So go on.
That's it. I mean, it's always great to get the first big sponsor on board. Been contacted last week by the Hairy Rucker on Instagram. He's currently doing a big promotion, and he's got his own budgie smugglers out. They're available to buy from next week, I believe. I'll put the link below on the clip. But I'm just going to treat you all to a quick look at the merchandise.
Can you do a twirl as well, please? Do a twirl.
So here they are. They come in, I think, 3 or 4 different designs. I've got the strawberries and apples, and there's different colours as well. And they come with the Hairy Rucker logo on the back.
Thanks for that.
Right, I'll put the clothes back on now.
Yeah, please.
Hopefully you're all still watching.
There's no way you'd get me doing that. So before we start talking to Chris, I just want to thank Matt and Wine Lindley for this lovely spread they put on for us. Yeah, we appreciate that, mate. And Unlucky Burger for last week. We only treat special guests.
If you come back on, we might get you some cheese and stuff next time.
All right, let's get on to Chris. Mate, obviously, we've played against you numerous times. I've played against you quite a few times. An absolute, I want to say the word on the pitch, but off the pitch, hell of a nice guy, down to earth. 340 caps for Heath.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about your history in rugby and where you've come from and how you ended up at Heath of all clubs.
Strange destinations.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, obviously, I've played against both of you quite a lot, and yeah, you know what I mean. I think you're just as equally as competitive as I am on the pitch. Similar personalities off the pitch, you know what I mean. So I think it's a common, mental state. I think for certain rugby players. But yeah, so yeah, well, I came from Ireland. As you can tell.
Oh
Yeah.
I started playing with a team called Cove Pirates, which is where my local town is. Fell in love with the game, probably about 12-year-old, and then moved up to a school called Christian Brothers College, which is like a very rugby-focused school in the city, which was a really good move. Enjoyed a lot of rugby there. I went on a rugby school tour to Japan, played in like a Sonics World Cup competition for a few weeks, and that was kind of like
nice.
Yeah, but it certainly opened my eyes to rugby, playing rugby elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
We went to Blackpool, like, and like 70 miles down M62 to Blackpool. We go Japan.
Yeah, it was brilliant. It was I think it was 60% of it was paid for by Sonics, which was the sponsor. and then the rest was funded by my family. And
Oh,
stuff.
nice.
Fantastic.
That's awesome.
Really good experience. Played against some really cool schools like Christchurch in New Zealand,
Mhm.
and a few of the Japanese schools, which was unreal because I think at that time, probably 2006, 7 maybe, they were pumping a lot of money into rugby over there, which you can see now.
Yeah, you can see it coming through now. Yeah,
And
definitely.
they were keen. I mean, they were.
I think they managed to beat Ireland at the World Cup once, didn't they, Japan?
They beat
Can't
us as
remember.
well.
Is that,
They beat us as
You're
well.
kind of English, though, aren't you?
Yeah,
Guinness,
yeah,
aren't you?
I'm English for tonight now that we've lost to Japan.
You're not supposed to say it like it's like Voldemort in Harry Potter, and it just don't say the word Japan to South Africa.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah, we did a good game. That I enjoyed that.
Ah, yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, I
Yeah, it was
interrupted
a
you.
fantastic ending. But yeah, so obviously after that came back, played a bit of club rugby with Cove Pirates again, with Dolphin, which is another club in Cork, and then a few things kind of suppose made my decision to go somewhere else.
Mhm.
Put my rugby CV, if you could call it, on a website, and immediately got a message from Heath Rugby Club saying we'll pay for your flights, we'll
Nice.
give you a job, and we'll get you over here. And they said, when can you come? I said, well, I've told my dad I just dropped out of university, so next week preferably. So they had me on a flight within 5 or 6 days, I think. It was,
Wow.
which was good because I did 3 years at uni in Ireland and bottled it at the end. So it wasn't the plan. But yeah, rocked up in Halifax, got down to Heath. Got a really good greeting out in Halifax.
What year was that?
2010. So it would have been probably end of July, beginning of August 2010.
Yeah.
First, straight in off the plane, picked up by the chairman and the coach into a house in Halifax with a Scotchman called
Nice.
Monty.
I think I might have played against you in 2010 for YM. I think we were in League Below, but we played like a Yorkshire Cup game or something. Yorkshire Cup or pre-season.
I think it was pre-season.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember a pre-season game. Was it under lights? Or was it?
My memory's gone.
He couldn't remember what he had. He couldn't remember what he had for breakfast. Never mind asking what happened.
I'm all right. I do remember what I had for breakfast. Yeah.
And then so stuck around. Really enjoyed it. I think it was just nice to be able to kind of do something on my own and just see how it went on. Ended up working on a farm up in Exley Hall Farm up in Siddle.
Nice. Sounds
Yeah.
like a welcoming club, that does, Heath.
Yeah, it was class. So that's kind of how I ended up over here.
Brilliant. Good. Obviously, you've made the Yorkshire team and the North East team. Congratulations on that.
Yeah, thank you.
Well deserved
Yeah.
from playing against you. So, yeah, I think you deserve to be there.
I appreciate it.
Obviously, now the East-West game is on the same day as the Twickenham game.
Yeah.
Final.
Yeah.
It's a bit harsh, that.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, I think, it was actually, I was really looking forward to the game. North East, North West game.
Yeah.
Played in it last year. Really, really enjoyed it. It was like a really high quality game.
Yeah.
And I guess I was just thinking, well, this is the best thing that's going to happen this year.
Yeah.
Winning the cup with Heath and stuff. But,
Yeah.
it was going to finish off the year very nicely. Very honoured to be voted for that again. And then obviously got the shout for Yorkshire and managed to jump into that. And, I obviously wanted to get to the final with Yorkshire and stuff, but it wouldn't have been a bad thing to play the game on a different weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it was a fantastic victory against Lancashire. Was it at Fylde as well?
Yeah,
you beat them at their own spot.
Yeah, it's a good place
They
to
put
win.
it as far away from us as possible and still lost. Unlucky at Lancashire.
Yeah, that was a nice win. I mean, I think there's obviously a long history there. When it goes back a long time.
Yeah.
But for me personally, it was nice to play against Chris Johnson. And,
Did you manage to play at the same time? Were you?
We didn't touch each other.
Did you not?
No, we weren't allowed.
That's a pity.
That's a pity. I think we both signed the contract before the game, said that we weren't allowed to hurt each other.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
So.
I do think there's only going to be one winner in that battle anyway. That's going to be you all day long. So.
He played well actually when he came on. Did John? He controlled the game very well, and I think if he'd have come on a bit earlier, he'd have probably done a bit more damage. But I think we were probably too far ahead really at that stage. So it was.
He's a good player, though.
Yeah,
Still at his age.
Yeah.
We'll leave it there.
Like
I can't really speak, so I'm out.
Despite his age, still a quality player.
Yeah, he's still quality.
Yeah,
Difficult to play against.
Yeah. Well, I've experienced it for 20 minutes.
He's a good
You know
one.
what I mean? It was challenging. So,
Obviously, the leagues have changed slightly. What were your thoughts of the last season? How the league panned out?
Yeah, I actually thought last season was the most competitive season at that level for us. I mean, obviously Heath have only been in at that level for that'd be the third season.
Yeah.
Never been there before, so we can only kind of gauge it off the last 3 years. But certainly it was definitely the most difficult in terms of every game was challenging, and I think that anybody could have beaten anybody on their day. If everything kind of went well.
That's it. Well, I think Selby came like bottom.
And then they beat Scunthorpe,
I think we only beat him by 1 point and then about 3 points in the next game as well. So it just shows you how competitive the league was.
Yeah, massively.
I think there's probably 6 or 7 teams that could have actually technically won the league with the quality players they've got. I think there's some real quality in the league this year.
Close. And I think that's what. I think that's what, right, Tommy? I think that's what kind of made it really interesting was that, similar to, Huddersfield, at the start, you had a bad start. We had a bad start.
Yeah.
I think we were both kind of bottom end of the table at the beginning. And then obviously, look at the end of the season, second, third. Scunthorpe in first. I mean, to be honest, they were running away with it by Christmas.
No, they were. They were like 14 points clear at one stage.
Yeah.
And then they just almost choked.
They got twitchy bum a little bit towards the end.
Yeah, and I think I did.
You love saying that just to annoy them.
But they managed to pull it out of the bag.
Just to annoy them.
You did manage to pull it out of the bag.
I think they played Driffield last game of the season at Driffield.
Yeah.
Which is a really hard place to go, and I think to go there, like I said, with the pressure of potentially, slipping up on the last game, they managed to do the job. But I think you guys did well to catch up with them and to kind of turn it around.
I think you guys. I think did you finish like 2 points behind us in the end of this?
Yeah, it was 2.
It's really close. I think when Huddersfield played Heath at Heath, that was for me it was the toughest game I've played in years. I cannot remember a tougher game in my whole career. And my body was absolutely in pieces. You guys played amazing.
Well, we won at the last kick of the game.
Yeah,
that's how close it was.
It never felt like we were actually in the game, and then somehow we were drawing, and then we managed to get the kick right at the end. So I think we stole it.
I mean, even the game at ours was physical. The only reason we won by quite a bit is because the pitch was a lot bigger, and we had the Stewart brothers on the wing. I think with their speed and give them half a space they've gone, I think that was the difference that day.
Absolutely.
And then we came to yours, and it was just ridiculous.
Keane's had a good season, but Finn this season's been absolutely unreal, finishing tries. He's won us a few games.
I think I saw that try he scored at Twickenham as well.
Yeah, it was.
That was Keane at Twickenham. Keane scored at Twickenham.
I get mixed up with him.
So I still get mixed up and I play with him.
Keane scored at Twickenham, but Max, who owns this place,
they gave it to Max.
Gave it to Max on the score sheet.
The commentators,
great try.
They gave it to
Max.
by Max.
That's class.
That's quite
he sent them a cheese board to say.
That's brilliant.
That's good. Obviously, who was, apart from you guys, the best team in the league you played against? If you had to pick a team,
probably Huddersfield. I think.
And how much does that hurt you to say? Come on.
Not really.
Oh, that's good.
I think to be honest, it's like, the reason why those games were so competitive was because, we when we played each other earlier in the year, I think we lost that game. We made too many errors. I think that full length field try that was either I don't know who scored it, but
I think it was Barber that scored that.
No, it was one of the Stewart brothers.
Oh, shock!
It was. I think we were on your line.
Intercept. Yeah.
And then we had a scrum on your line, and we pushed over and did that, and we didn't execute that, and there was lineouts were not good. So we come away from that game having learned a lesson, and then being able to kind of bring that to the next game, and then losing at the end as well by a kick. I think it goes to show actually, the kind of level that we need to get to.
Yeah.
And your team are quite you've got a lot of good players. You gelled well throughout the season. And so I think most people might say Scunthorpe, but we only just lost against Scunthorpe last played again, and we did him a job on him.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
So,
to be fair.
you know what I mean? So in that sense, you know, I don't think anybody else beat us twice.
Yeah.
So I think it's fair to say. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I definitely enjoyed those games as well.
Yes.
The crowds were massive.
Body was sore after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that Heath did really well in terms of the money that was generated for the club that day.
Yeah.
I think it was a record. I don't know what it was like for Huddersfield. But
it was a massive crowd ours as well.
It was a good, I suppose, showcase of local rugby to a lot of people as well.
Yeah, that's it. That's the really good thing about having a local rivalry. That's what we might miss a little bit this year by us moving over to the West League. I think having that local rivalry really helps us. It helps, you being so good, help push us to be better.
Yeah,
because
it's all the way around as well.
We knew we needed to be better to beat you guys, and I think it's quite a healthy rivalry.
Exactly.
I think having another really fantastic club 5 or 6 miles away from you helps us to be a better team.
Which makes it hard for us next season. We haven't got a derby game.
Yeah, I think having a derby game, it will be a bit.
What will be the closest team?
Manchester, Stockport plays Stockport quite a few times.
I think we'll be our derby next season. After the semi-finals.
Yeah.
I think that's the game we don't want to lose next year.
Is that were they a good team?
When they came to ours, we bullied them. We really climbed into them. They tried being dirty, and against Huddersfield doesn't work.
No.
And then we went to theirs. We had a 14-point lead, and
we were missing a few
we
guys.
We were missing a few, but not. There was no. It wasn't.
We didn't have a big bench, did we?
No. It wasn't scrappy. It was. There was no dirtiness on the pitch. They just played rugby, and that worked for them on the day.
But it was really red hot, wasn't it? And we didn't have the most athletic team out.
No, we didn't. No, we didn't. But I think that will be a rivalry next season for us.
I need a defib at half time on that one.
But obviously, you guys still have Kleck. You'll have Sandal. So you still got that good rivalry that you're going to need. Yeah, exactly. Even York's a good one for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've kind of followed York up. We used to play against them quite a lot in Yorkshire 1. We played against them in the league above that. We played against them, and we've always kind of, we I suppose early days we didn't do so well against them. So they might not understand why we are so ferocious and motivated to beat them every time we play them. It's quite historical. Yeah. It is for me anyway. I mean, I've been around a long time.
Yeah.
You in the change rooms before most games, you tend to find me saying, "I hate these guys. These guys, I just want to beat these guys so much." And they'll be like, "Why? We haven't played against these guys in 10 years." But back in 2011,
that's it.
Last played a game.
I
remember.
It's true.
It's always good to beat a team, but I think you remember. I personally remember the losses more than I remember the wins. So especially when you lose by a little bit, it really stays with me. And losing a scrum as well. So
Oh yeah. I mean that's heartbreaking.
I'm not going to say anything about that scrum. I give you enough trouble about that. No, I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, I think
you didn't push in one of the scrums just to confirm and.
No. Let me tell the story.
Let
me tell the story. So, previous 2 scrums, Chris walks back and basically gets the free kicks, which he did. So the next scrum, I end up on our blindside flanker with Loz on top of me and Chris on top of me. I'm folded like a pretzel. And I get up and Loz has stood there giggling to himself. And I go, "Loz, what happened?" He just went, "I had a rest."
Cardiac arrest.
Yeah.
And this one is there cheering and you laughing and I'm in agony because I had both of you on top of me. So
I was having a cardiac arrest again. 5 minutes into that game, I was dying.
It was the quickest start.
Flag up.
No, that was good. The best player in the league you played against this season?
I've got a few, like a top 10. Probably there was a centre, Anik.
Yes.
I can't remember what.
It's a 13.
Yeah.
He was a pain for us
as
well.
And he always runs back He always runs back on an angle. When you're up there, and I think you've had the same reception up there, but
yeah.
He just tends to have that ability to run back on the angle and straight down towards you when you're trying to get and spread and cover out wide. And as a prop, that's like the scariest thing you can see is
Yeah.
somebody running at your your weak shoulder and coming at space. So I think he'd be in there in terms of like me going up there, and every time I go there, it's something that I really focus on is making sure as soon as he gets it, I'm up and inside. Don't give him that space. So I think he'd be my
fair enough. I think they were the best team for me this season. Anik.
Yeah.
I think Anik at their place,
Another level,
were quality.
Yeah.
And Heath at their place, also quality. I think the two teams were just, I don't think there's much between.
No. Lions prediction. We've got Lions coming up. We ask every guest. I went 2-1 Australia, didn't I?
You did, yeah.
You went 2-1 British Lions. Berger said 3-0 to the Lions. It's a brave one, that. What are your predictions?
I don't know, because it's hard to tell what kind of state Australian rugby is in.
Oh.
And if you look at the Super Rugby games recently, you've had Reds
and the Brumbies.
I think that Lions team is just outstanding.
Yeah.
And I just think they'll be too strong. So I think the safe bet would be 2-1.
Okay.
But I'd have to agree with Berger and say 3-0.
Lions, wow.
Yeah. I don't think Australian rugby has recovered yet to the point where they're going to be that competitive.
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean?
Yeah, I don't think the forward pack's quite good enough to take on the Lions forwards.
No.
So
if you have, it depends what the selection is as well.
Yeah, fair enough.
And how they play it.
I'm supporting the Lions, but it'll be funny for just to let you know. Normally, Loz tells us a good story on here. We've left it for you this week.
Yeah.
So obviously, be careful with naming clubs or persons. But
it depends on it. It's not too bad.
It's not too bad. We don't really care.
Mine's quite light anyway. I tend not to get involved in any of that silly stuff. I'm far too mature.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. I'm sure you are.
So I guess there's loads of crude and inappropriate stories that I could get into, but I think personally for me, in terms of now being a junior chairman and involved in a lot of the age groups in terms of coaching and being responsible for their welfare, I was kind of thinking about this today. So do you remember when Munster played Leicester Tigers in the 2004 Heineken Cup? And Neil Back put his hand in and tapped it back, and Peter Stringer was jumping up and down. So
I do remember. Yeah.
So I went on my first rugby tour then as how old would I have been then? 14 maybe. Yeah. Went over on the bus on the ferry with all the Cove Pirates crew. Yeah. So there were different age groups, which was great because probably the first trip I've been on as a lad. Rugby, they're all looking after you. It was like really kind of a nice thing, and so obviously I'm trying to keep up with the older lads, which didn't really work out well. So, and I shouldn't have been drinking. I didn't drink, but
responsible.
I wasn't drinking, but I did. But so we went into Millennium Stadium at the time. It was called that, I think. And what's it called now?
Principality. Yeah.
So watched the game. Obviously, Munster lose just at the end. So we get back on the ferry, and there was a cinema in the ferry. So I decided, I'd had a couple of alcoholic drinks, and I fell asleep in the cinema, and I woke up to a Hoover. Hoover in the inside of the cinema. And I'm thinking, what's going on here? Where am I for a start? And why are you hoovering the chairs next to me? And this lady, politely said, well, actually, the ferry's been docked for about an hour. And what are you doing here? So I started panicking. I run out of the cinema, down the stairs, into the kind of, I didn't know really where I was going. I was just in pure panic. Got onto into the area where all the buses are. There was one bus left, which was our bus. And obviously there was a scouting party in the ferry looking for me.
They probably thought you got overboard.
Well, yeah, so I just stumbled onto the bus half asleep. Hello, how are you? Sorry, and just fell back to sleep and didn't say, nobody even said, I just went back to sleep, got back to Cove and stuff. But now reflecting on that, if I was in charge of that trip and for an hour you couldn't find one of the under 14s and you were on a ferry and you thought they'd gone overboard, I was just thinking you must be in a world of pain.
Yeah, you will be. You will be, definitely.
I never
really
thought
imagine
about it that much. So to me, that's kind of like now. As an
Yeah, but we
adult,
always look
thinking,
back when, as we get
Yeah,
older at stuff we did, and
oh
we
my
go,
God,
yeah,
How many miles is it to swim? Like, so I reckon you're gonna give it a go, couldn't you?
yeah,
it's cold, mate.
Yeah.
It's cold as well.
But it was.
You're not going to swim that far.
I think I would have managed about 50 meters and then just drown.
But yeah, I think I gave them all a bit of a fight.
Yeah.
But that was it. Yeah. Now I'm thinking if I ever go away on a trip with a junior team, I won't be getting a ferry anyway.
Yeah, fair enough on that. From now on, every week we'll be doing a player profile, and I think Loz has come up with one for this week.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever played against.
Yeah, so
against
hang
them,
on,
but
I'll introduce it. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good northern clubs, and yeah, that's him. Yeah, yeah. So we're just looking at a picture of Lewis Bradley. It's on his 16th birthday.
Sorry, brothers.
When he started his butcher's apprentice. So that's his 16th birthday. That photo. I'll put it up on the screen for you guys so you don't miss out. So Lewis Bradley, he started playing rugby at Huddersfield. He played 170 games for Huddersfield. I actually played in the first game as a senior. Went to Hull Ionians, and I think we lost convincingly against a really strong Hull Ionians team that got promoted that year into National One. I'm sure he was only 16 or 17 anyway. About when that picture was taken, and so like 1 minute into the game, he takes the ball in, runs into their scrum half. Scrum half tries to tackle him like this, just runs straight into his chest like that. Scrum half bounces off the floor and he's knocked out cold. So like 1 minute of adult rugby, and he's KO'd. But yeah, so he's done 170 games for Huddersfield. He's then stepped up and played 50 games for Sedgley Park. Sedgley Park being, I think it's the fifth best northern team in the whole country, playing the rugby in National One. And he's the kind of player that you'd always want in your side. I mean, he's going off and off in a line out, but at 5'8", but he'll jackal over the ball and he'll win you 3-4 turnovers a game, and he carries the ball really well, like a little cannonball. He's like I don't know how to describe him. He's like a human. What do you call those little shellfish? Are they whelks? You know, the ones that stick to a rock. It's like a human muscle. That's what it is.
A muscle.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a thing called a whelk.
I'm worried about him.
I'm really sorry.
I'm really worried about him, mate.
But yeah, he's really difficult to stop. You know, he always breaks the first tackle. He's a quality player. So much appreciation to Lewis Bradley, and we'll bring in like a different player each week.
Yeah. Right. Shall we do my dirty pint? Explain why I'm getting this while you pour it.
You've given it away now, haven't you?
Yeah.
So
go on.
So we don't know who's won this competition yet, obviously. But yeah. So me and Theo each week we're going to do a little competition in the week, and the loser has to do a dirty pint. Theo and I we did a penalty shootout at the rugby post, and I'm just going to we're going to flick over to that competition now. Right, so Theo's lost the penalty shootout, and he can't wait to see what dirty pint I have in store for him today. He's driving, so I can't do him dirty with alcohol. So here we go. I'm just gonna prep it now. Yeah. Right, I've got some Tesco Greek yogurt, got some smoked paprika, and some Coca-Cola. Do you want to finish your pint, or do you want me to put it in?
Yeah, just put it in yours. I'm not finishing my pint. for that.
Do you want any of this fine charcuterie?
You have to.
You know, the charcuterie.
No, it's enough that I've got to drink. No, not all of it. Oh, lots.
It's a bit of protein, isn't it?
I am going to get you back.
I'll take it.
Oh, mate, that's quite good.
We'll put a bit of this in the smoked paprika. It's not spicy, don't worry. I know you like to be a corner.
Do you want to share it with me?
Just put hairs on your chest. Like that.
No thanks.
Wait, what are you doing? I thought we were friends.
Yeah, this is our show of affection.
I'm sure you've done worse.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I have.
Definitely.
Yeah. Let's leave it
Like an initiation.
At least it's in it. Yeah, exactly.
No, actually,
That's it. We're gonna.
Cleg's initiation wasn't the worst.
No.
No, the Tigers were the worst.
Yeah.
Oh, it's nice. That it looks like a milkshake.
By a mile. No,
Paprika milkshake.
No, but let it settle.
Do you want me to top it with Guinness or?
No, absolutely not.
Can I taste it first?
Go on.
I just want to see how bad it is. It's actually all right.
Can I try it?
Really?
It's actually quite nice. No, honestly, it's quite nice. That.
It's not too bad
It's
actually.
actually really nice. Yeah.
I've done you a massive favour.
Cheers, mate. I'm not going to do you any favours.
Well, lick the yogurt off
It's
first. come on.
surprisingly really nice.
Are you two winding me up? Boy, actually. Can I have a sip first, or should I just drink it?
I change it. Like.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how it's going to work if you do a whole full pint of it.
I'll tell you what.
It's all right, isn't it? It's quite refreshing. Well, that's doable. Yeah, I mean, that's going to kill you later, but it's all right, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not bad. That.
I'll have that one back next time.
It just tastes like
It's just the paprika. It spoils
just
it a
a
bit.
spicy Coke.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like a Coke cherry.
It's like a float. Like a float, isn't it? Really?
Wow.
Yeah. Well, cheers for that. It wasn't
You
too
need
bad.
to- you need
I'm
to
not
pay-
going to be nice to you if I ever win a chance.
Oh, what we're gonna do? Pint of lemonade, are we?
Yeah. Right.
With
I've not prepped you for this, but I've got a quick fire round, some questions. Answer them as quick as you can. It's only 8 questions.
yeah.
So, lose a tooth or break your nose playing rugby? Break your nose.
Yeah,
So,
done it before. It's easy.
no toilet paper or no phone for a week.
No fun.
All right. Legs for arms or arms for legs?
I can't do handstands, so arms for legs. Legs for
Okay.
arms.
Legs for arms.
Yeah.
You could run on upside down.
Mate, I can't wait to see you use that toilet paper with legs for arms. That would be amazing.
Why then I've had carers or something. I've been well looked after.
Yeah, fair enough. Grumpiest player at Heath?
Grumpiest player at Heath.
Well, I could answer that, but I'm not
Don Walsh. He's always moaning.
yeah. Funniest player at Heath?
Oh God. I'd have to say Fergus Marsden. He can do any accent in the world. He's just
Oh, brilliant.
so, yeah.
Give up beer or rugby for a year?
Oh, beer. I've done it already.
Have you?
Yeah, I did it for 2 years.
Madness, I can't. Could you?
Easy.
Yeah, I couldn't give up.
I couldn't live without rugby.
Yeah,
It's a difficult
I
one.
struggle with that.
They go hand in hand, mate. It's a difficult
They can
one.
go
That.
see someone.
It's a difficult one.
I'll
That.
refer you.
It's a difficult one. Be a policeman or a fireman?
Probably policeman. I think fireman would be just a bit too boring.
Okay.
I sweat too much, so I'd struggle. I would. The fireman.
And then the last one. If you had to pick between the two clubs, if you had to go to either of them and play for them, Clegg or Huddersfield?
Oh, Jesus.
I knew this was going to be you had to pick one and you had to go play for one.
Probably Huddersfield. It's closer to where I live. So.
Oh, yeah, use that excuse.
Yeah.
Use that excuse. We'll leave that there.
Sign it for next year.
Obviously, we'll move on to general rugby chat. Premiership final this weekend coming up. Bath, Leicester. Are you guys thinking it's going to win it? And who do you want it to win it? That's the other question.
I think whatever I predict doesn't happen. So I want Bath to win because I want Leicester to win. So we'll say Bath.
Oh, right.
Are you going that route? Are you?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
easy way.
I've got
Okay,
some
fair enough.
some
Go
kind
on.
of curse going on.
Chris?
I think, having watched both games, the desire that Leicester, if they can come out with the same fire, that they showed against Sale, and the same kind of just, I mean, the power and everything was just unreal.
Yeah.
Sale usually being a team that can manage that really well because they're quite a sizable forward pack. They're usually quite aggressive in defence. You know what I mean? I think Leicester could do it if they come out the same way. Then
I'm going to go Bath. Just watching the 2 games on the weekend, Bristol dominated that first half.
I didn't watch the Bristol.
And then Bath came out the second half and went in a gear that Bristol couldn't live with. It'll be interesting because Leicester are class.
Yeah.
I think Bath have been the best team this season. They've only lost 3 games.
Yeah, that's true.
So they should win it. But
I don't watch a lot of
having Andre Pollard play at 10, I'm gonna have to. My heart's with him.
He's playing well as well.
Exactly.
Missed about 10 kicks on Saturday.
Yeah, he doesn't care. They still win, doesn't
His stats weren't as good as mine actually. Kicking stats.
Oh my god!
So I got what did I get? 3 from 5, something like that.
Yeah, 3 from 5. He got 3 from 5. So
no, he didn't. He got about 3 from 10. Then he that drop goal he missed.
Yeah.
If you want some pointers, mate, just give us a call. Get subscribed to the channel first, though.
Obviously, the last one I want to bring up, and I don't know how you're going to feel about this. Don Walsh is obviously signed for us. What are your thoughts on that? Are you guys wishing him all the luck in the world? And
yeah, I think so. Yeah, obviously, I think. I mean, look, I think every player is motivated to play by certain things.
Yeah.
So I think Dom is obviously highly motivated in terms of his training and how he looks after himself. And in his own life, he's quite a successful businessman, and he's quite strict on himself.
Okay.
So I think when opportunities arise, and if he feels this is a positive opportunity for him to progress and improve, which is what he is very focused on doing in all aspects of his life, then I'm not surprised that he's, jumped at the opportunity.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So I think, but obviously from a personal point of view, I've known him a long time. He has played with other clubs previously. So, he is very loyal in terms of to Heath and stuff. I think he, has shown that he will make a decision that is positive for him.
Yeah.
Whereas personally, you could give me 10 grand a month, I wouldn't leave Heath. You know what I mean?
Well, fair enough.
Massive respect. I just think that people are motivated differently. So obviously, the club would wish him well and hope he has a good season. He keeps playing because that's the main thing. Really, I think is making sure that people keep playing and they don't stop playing. And if that's what he needs to keep moving forward, then
I think having that close proximity between the two clubs, you're always going to get players moving between them, and that with them being playing at the same standard, and and both having a really professional setup. You guys are clearly quite professional with yourself, and so are we. It's
and different. It depends who what coaching team you have in place. What their goals are, whether you fit into those goals, or whether you don't believe in it, or whether you think it could be any different. There's loads of different factors that will cause you to make a move. We can all agree upon that. I think we've all you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So
personally, I'm looking forward to playing with him. Me and him haven't always got on the pitch ever. Every time I've played against him, we always have an issue.
Like you and most players, that, isn't it?
Well, we've been all right.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, we've been all right.
Yeah, I mean, look.
We've been all right.
It is what
it is, isn't it? It is what it is, but
in an aggressive manner.
I'm only going to get it back on.
There's some lads that are going to accept it and move on and just accept the fact that's how you play, which a lot of people do with me, which is nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I've come across a few lads in the Yorkshire setup who I played against in the past, and there was 2 of them sat next to each other there, and I just said, Jesus, lads, I think I've punched both of you. You know what I mean?
The thing is,
so we laughed about it, and well, we hate playing against you because you're quite aggressive. You know what I mean?
It's okay getting a sneaky little punching on pitch.
But that's the good thing about rugby. We give each other so much abuse on the pitch, and afterwards we're all right. There's always 1 or 2 you'll never get on with off the pitch. That's just life.
I think you made Rotherham's second row cry the other year, didn't you? because you were too nasty to him.
Mate, he's too good at the moment.
He's really good.
I'm not going to say I broke him that day. The ref even said to him, mate, just calm down. He was out of the game. He was chasing me for 40 minutes, and he never got hold of me. Think of this for that, because he would have killed me if he got hold of me.
He has got his head on now. I think he got player of the season this year, didn't he?
So fair play. He's a great player. Respect to him. I just got under his skin really well that day.
Can't handle.
John Okafor, Rotherham Titans, quality player.
No, I'm getting too old anyway. I think that's coming to the end of the show, mate. Chris, thanks for coming. You're an absolute legend.
Thank you.
It's been great having you playing against you. God, I'm not playing against you this season. That's really nice. And best of luck in your league, mate. Hopefully you guys do well.
I think they're looking at rejigging the kind of fixtures a bit.
Yeah.
We've always ended up playing Ilkley first game.
Yeah.
Away or home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, which I think is nice. And then you always have an Anik. If you get Anik Christmas time, you're knackered.
Get them early.
Get them during the pre-season for early
get
season.
them early all.
Yeah. I mean, you can pray that a foot and mouth epidemic might
take their farmers out the game.
Go up a few weeks before and just.
I said that in the bath because they've still got bats. I don't know if we should be saying this because RFU banned them, but Anik still have bats. And I was sat in amongst a lot of them. I said, Jesus, lads, I said, next year, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get some mad cow disease up here a few weeks before we come up. So, they weren't laughing though.
No, I can't imagine.
They were having flashbacks, burning 100 head of cattle. They'd be deducted 20 points from the bats. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, we have to all walk on pitch. We have to walk through that bath of disinfectant first, I think, don't we, before we play?
Yeah, exactly.
Clean your boots.
Clean your boots, lads. Clean your boots.
Yeah.
So now, boys, thanks for tonight. Just on next week's episode, I have Mike Brown on from North Rugby that's organised the Northeast v the Northwest on the 21st of this week. I'm going to go see him and interview him for a bit and chat about that. So look forward to that. And in the coming weeks, we've got some great guests on, haven't we?
We have, we've got loads lined up,
So share, comment. We will be having a competition coming up soon that we will announce. It's a good competition, so please stay in touch and share with whatever we're doing.
That's it. You need to make sure you're subscribing. We're having 1,000 views and 5%ish are subscribing. So it'll take you 1 minute at a time. Just subscribe to the channel and it pushes us out to loads of people. So thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Cheers.
Yeah, done.
Nice one.
I've missed it again.